I couldn't believe it. I was in Iowa, a young woman, $400,000 in debt. This is not unusual for medical schools and dental schools. And, ordinary people, $50,000, $100,000 for going to college or getting a master's degree. We promised these young people, we said, go to college, go out and get an education, you'll get decent paying jobs. Well, the answer is they have not been able to do that. So what we have proposed in one piece of legislation, or two actually, is to make public colleges and universities tuition-free, cancel all student debt in this country. That will cost $2.2 trillion, a lot of money, over a 10-year period. We do this through a tax on Wall Street speculation, which will bring in $2.4 trillion. We bailed out Wall Street 11 years ago. And by the way, these are crooks on Wall Street who engaged in illegal behavior. Taxpayers, against my vote, bailed them out. If we can bail out Wall Street, you know what? We can cancel student debt and provide public colleges and universities tuition-free.
When you say a tax on Wall Street speculation, what exactly do you mean?
It will be a tax on all of the every sale of a tax. People buy and sell stocks and bonds all of the time. We have a very modest tax on that. And by the way, it will have an impact on speculation by cutting back on the high-frequency trading, which we now see.
So you would just there's no current tax on this?
Correct.
So you would put a small amount, and that would do the job? That would
raise more than enough money. It's a very small tax. It exists.
When you say small, how much?
It depends on the nature of the transaction, but it's less than 0.5%.
Really?
Yeah.
And that would cover?
Because the amount of stocks being sold,
Right.
bought and sold. And this is not, again, a new idea. It's being done in countries all over the world.
What about here's one of the darkest things about student loans is that if you go bankrupt, it doesn't matter. You still owe that. And that's kind of crazy. I mean, if you have like a serious medical issue, if you're held up, whatever happens to you that's awful, you go bankrupt, most of those things are resolved, but not student loans.
Right. I mean, again, this talks to and that has to do with bankruptcy law, which was passed against my vote. And while you're on bankruptcy, and I should have mentioned this before, when you talk about the healthcare system, 500,000 Americans every single year go bankrupt because of medical bills that they can't pay. But you're right. With student, I talked to this guy in Nevada. I'll never forget it. The guy said, Bernie, I'm owing the guy's in his 50s. And he said, I've been paying off my student debt for years. I'm going nowhere because the interest rates are high. And I fear very much, which is the case, that they will start garnishing, taking away my Social Security checks, taking money away from me.